to the Daily Word with E. Today's daily word is despise. And before I talk about despise, I want to let you guys know I've been away for a little bit, reading, focusing, just taking a little break. So you'll be receiving a lot more videos from me in the coming future. But going back to what today's daily word is, today's daily word is despise. And I want to tell you how important this word is. And when you see this word, and if you think about the different times that it's mentioned in the Bible, it has significant meaning to it. Underlying meaning, but significant. When you think of the word despise, look at it more like you hate something, but on a more emotional level. So I hate it, but I'm emotionally affected by how much I hate this thing. For example, let me just try to clarify the two different things when I talk about hate and despise. Say you hate something. I hate spinach. And you just say, I hate spinach. Something that you just didn't like, I hate spinach. But if you was to despise spinach, it would be like, not only do you hate it, but it's something that does something to your spirit, your soul, or inside of you. It's like, ugh, or whatever. I wanted to clarify that to let you know that despising something is worse than hating something. And in the Gospels, Jesus mentioned, he was talking to his disciples. This is when he was trying to get his disciples to go out there and preach the good word. And then he said something that always stood out to me. And Jesus said that if they despise you, then they despise me being Jesus. And they despise he who sent me, which is God. So just think about that. This is one of the very few verses in the Bible that when it mentioned something about despising something, and it's specific to his disciples and basically the disciples' teaching and who they are and how they look. That's very important. I always believe that back in the ancient times, a lot of the Pharisees and Israelites during those ancient periods, they had an idea in their mind how the Messiah is supposed to look, how he's supposed to be. They expected him to be more like a tyrant, somebody that comes and I'm finna go conquer everybody and let them know that that is my people and I'm conquering. I think that's what a lot of them thought at that time. And when Jesus came humbly on a colt, they didn't take him seriously. They looked at him a certain kind of way. But as Jesus performed these miracles, and if you really look at the Gospels, it talks about these things where Jesus the Pharisees and others was upset with Jesus and wanted to kind of contain him or grab him or get to him. But if you look, he always was able to get away. Always was able to slip by and get away. And you got to ask yourself, why was that? You got to ask yourself, why didn't they accept the teachings of what they already know? Look at it like this. In order to become a high priest or was a high-ranking person in those times, you had to know the scriptures. You had to know the Israelite faith and the tenets of that faith, right? It was already prophesied that it was going to be somebody that came along like Jesus. Saving people, healing people, know the word inside and out. Was going to be able to educate and teach the people a certain way, the ways of the Lord. Was going to teach people about the truth. I am the way, I am the truth, I am the life. Nobody gets to the Father but through me. All of these things was documented in the Old Testament. In the books that the Pharisees and the Sadducees and the elite and the high priests and all of those, they had privy to those, they were privy to those words. They were privy to those doctrines. But they ignored it. Because you know why? Because a lot of times when you think about people, when they attain a particular individual success, like being a high priest at that time was similar to like being, um, I'll use this loosely, but it's similar like being, say, a governor or a high-ranking political figure that had a beautiful home, that had access to the best foods, and a lot of people that kind of praised them and followed them and cheered for them and was willing to fight or maybe even die for them. That's kind of the position that a high priest had during those times. But in those books, and those that tried to persecute Jesus, they knew that it was something about, it was something, they knew that a person like him with his characteristics and the things that he did, they knew somebody like that was coming. But going back to what we were talking about as far as Despise is concerned, what is it about him that a verse had to be put in the Bible that says that Jesus told his disciples, if they despise you, they despise me, and they despise he who sent me. Despise. I already gave you the definition of hate and despise. Despise is worse because it's almost like I hate you, but I hate you to the point where it's affecting my inside. Like, ugh, you're disgusting to me. It's real simple. If we follow the tenets that Jesus outlined, being the perfect example for all of us, then it will be a better place, not only here in this country, but around the world. Don't despise nobody. And if you kind of feel like you're despising, pray to God. Don't despise nobody because of how they color their skin or their philosophy is different. Or if they're giving you a good message and you refuse to hear the good message. Don't despise nobody. Don't despise anyone. Talk to you soon. God bless.